of the most interesting things within EO, and I think that's important for people listening who don't know what EO is, the organization is, we are divided into forums, and then we don't give advice, we experience share. And in order for that to succeed, there has to be a certain trust, which I think is always very true when you take a consultant, when you take a coach. And I think we always need some sort of either a mentor, someone to help us in different things. And then it's not if you do this, you'll succeed. And I just met, I don't know, in the last 2 or 3 years and doing these interviews, so many EO members who told me, we took these advisors and they told us what to do and we failed. But I think it has a lot to do with experience share. And secondly, within EO, we talk a lot about the 5% or the 1%, not the things that you can tell anyone, but the things that underneath the surface, once we bring them up to the surface, we can discuss and resolve. That's what the magic happens. Because if you can talk about it with anyone, it doesn't matter. There's no depth to it. We're not solving a real problem. We're not finding the root of the problem. What I want to ask you about this is they meet you. How do you create that intimacy very fast? They need to be very open. They need to be willing to receive tough love, feedback. Is this something you put on the table when you start, or is it being built up?
So first of all, before I answer the question, what you talked about EO is extremely important. And I remember, like, a very good bad example of what happened to be in a forum. Okay, now it's about me, so I can talk about it. I was in the beginning of negotiation with big companies like Honeywell to sell the company, and somebody there looked at me and said, like this, with a finger, "You need to be careful. These guys will take you to your knees and will deceive you, and then will buy you for nothing." I remember my feeling at the time. This is like advice, right? Big advice. And it could be the same story, but I had an experience. I worked with such a company, and they were lousy. They dragged the negotiation. The same story, but from personal experience.
If they have,
It's a completely
if
different.
they have that person.
If it has, yes, yes, definitely. And I remember this feeling that, wow. First of all, maybe I'm making a big mistake. I felt something instead of getting more, more strong going out of this meeting. I felt like, whoa, maybe I'm making a mistake, or maybe it's not things that I should bring into the forum. It's the. I remember this feeling. And to get back to your question, on the other hand, I remember a situation when I had kind of an anxiety attack, and one of the forum mates called me, her, and she said, "Hey, we have a meeting today. We'll see each other." I said, "I'm not sure I'm coming because I had this anxiety and I don't feel good." And, "Are you crazy? This is the time. This is the time that you should come to the meeting." And I came to the meeting, and I remember near that I don't remember a lot of what was told back to me, the experience shared, but I remember the feeling of being able to be there in that, for me, a very low place. Now, back to your question, when I go to talk to CEOs, I'm first of all trying to set the stage that I'm working. They are the important person for me. I'm there for them, not for anybody. Even if I was sent by somebody else, they are my client. There's a full confidentiality, like in you, and I share fast enough. I share, that I don't come from a I know all, but of a humanic, a person that has some experience that wants to support you in your journey, and then they open up. Then they know. Then, there's some magic also there. I don't know what to say, right?
I think a lot to do with the experience
Uh,
share is sometimes the difference advice is this is what you should do. The reason why it's a problem in most cases, and this is how we kind of inherently become after doing this form for years, is we understand that we don't know the whole picture. I only know what you told me. And the fact that I don't know the whole picture means that I will give you bad advice. If I was there, I noticed everything, I witnessed the whole discussion, I know the whole story, I know everything, then I can tell you if I was in your place, in your shoes, this is what I would do. We can discuss if that's the wrong or right advice. In most cases, people will come and tell you, you won't believe what happened to me. And you'll say, oh, really? This is what you have to do. But you don't know. Because maybe subjectively, that's what they experienced. Maybe this is not what happened. And oftentimes, when people present in our forum, when we reflect what we heard, they will say, really? That's what you heard?